Alright guys, we have another warm spicy mano battle. This time in this corner we have Dolce and Gabbana, the one very famous male perfume with slightly lower than moderate projection longevity. Alright, it's got a complex mix of blend of notes, I would say. It's got base of amber, it's got tobacco, it's got ginger, all right, it's got orange blossom, it's got what else? It has coriander as well, and there are some people who are turned off due to the coriander and prefer this, right? This legend La Nuit de l'Homme. This one is all about the cardamom. This has cardamom too, but this is more of a milder mid note cardamom, whereas this is the top note and more prominent cardamom, and I suspect some hidden ingredients which could be iso e super as well, that gives it that addictive quality. So in terms of utility, this is this is very versatile, right? You can use this for formal and also social activity, not so much for clubbing, all right, because clubbing will require more stronger scent, whereas this is how to say, this is very versatile as well. You can wear it literally anywhere, you can't go wrong. Of course, in an environment like a club, you might have difficulty projecting with this mild scent, but if anybody comes very close to you, the members of the opposite sex, for example, if they are whispering ear to ear, then they will get a whiff of this, all right, then they say, wow, what's that, right? So now who's gonna win? All right, now for me, after I got this, I'm already under the spell of La Nuit de l'Homme. Of course, I need to do some longer term field testing of it in various environments, but generally this leaves a very good impression on me. Very good blending, because if you just go by the notes that's been described, right, how to say, if I were to trust the notes that's described, then I would say that this is, maybe a simpler number of ingredients but blended well cause it to be having that oomph, versus something that's lots of ingredients and then it becomes like a, neither here nor there. But it's definitely not an unpleasant scent. Many people swear by the one, right? It has its own bunch of flankers, and it's actually both the legends, actually, guys. Right? It's just a matter of taste, actually. But this it is not aristocratic enough. It's not blue blood. It's not purple blood enough. If you're feeling like turning up your nose and walking with that monocle and top hat and whatnot. Some days you just feel like you want to feel like feel rich. You're just gonna walk around, strutting around, just feeling good about yourself, right? That you go for this, man. La Nuit de l'Homme. You feel like a king. I call this a king's perfume, right? For your own self, and of course the opposite sex, they love it too. Whereas this is more of a nice perfume, versatile, but it's just that, at least to me, all right. So in this battle as well, La Nuit de l'Homme wins hands down in this warm spicy battle. I would say this guy would win a lot of battles. Maybe his what do you call it, greatest opposition might be Terre de Hermes, but Terre de Hermes leans more towards working, to me at least, to working more formal environments. But this leans a bit more towards your evening as you go back from work onwards, but still definitely can wear even in work, if you ask me at least, right? People keep saying date. I think it's versatile. You can wear it literally anywhere, man, all right? Okay, and the rumor has it that some of the newer flankers, Blue Electric for instance, does a good job of giving off a longer, improving longevity and projection while adding a bit more pizzazz on the top note. So maybe I should check that out at some point in time. Another thing I learned is that in my perfume journey is that many times when people spray sample on the paper and give it to you, if you're not ready, you might suddenly have a blast of chemicals and you might feel like, oh, it's all too pungent. I had that with the Versace Eros, but and when I went first round and smelled some samples from various La Nuit flanker line previously, I couldn't really get anything much. I just like, oh, okay, I didn't really get any kick out of it. But after looking at many kind of how to say, people, frag heads talk about it, right? I finally put my foot down and say, okay, fine, I'm gonna go and get it, right? And then I smelled it. It was the same non-committal kind of a feel when I smelled it. I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay, fine, I'm gonna get this, right? But when I put it on my skin, number one, and number two, the dry, but actually even the opening and dry down, they are just great. Okay, so be careful about what you feel when you sniff on a paper, or when you sniff at any mall. You can get distracted by many things, and just the opposite. When I thought I had a great what do you call it, top note, right? And the top note, what do you call it, got me excited. And I said, wow, this is interesting, and I got it, and it turned out to be quite a dud, at least in my nose. Okay, then again, there are people who swear by it. There's one perfumer who swears, not perfumer, one YouTuber who swears by this, says it's very unique. But I disagree, because to me, I think this guy, right, despite a very unique looking bottle, this one is too rosy, man. This is even for girls, it's usually too sickly sweet, too cloying, and seems to dry down in a coconutty vibe. But I don't think coconut is an ingredient, so yeah, this is one of those things that felt cool when you smell it first. It feels very different. It definitely gets you interested, but all right, it's the exact opposite of these other guys. So I don't know whether that's how it works or not. Whatever that you get excited by initially turns out to be a dud, and whatever that looks dull is the one that's really the top dog. That's another sort of lesson I learned in my frag journey, and maybe it comes to humans too. Some people, you're very excited by them. Oh, this guy is cool, exciting. He's laughing, talking to you, buddy, buddy. And then when you're in trouble, the guy is like, oh, sorry, walks away. And then the guy who was boring, you're like, oh, this guy is, who this or this girl is, come on, she's boring. Suddenly, when you're in trouble, when the problem arises, then you see how they jump to the occasion and come to your side. So, I guess human perfumes, all of them have the irony thing going on. So, okay, guys, I've been blabbering on for too long. Maybe you guys can give some of your own perfume experiences and your own take on the battle of La Nuit de l'Homme and Dolce and Gabbana. The one victory is very easy to declare. All right, by a knockout in the first round. Not first round, I guess. First round was Victor and Rolf, right? This one maybe they went into the third round. Okay, and the victory belongs to La Nuit de l'Homme by a knockout.